This is final part of the chapter 2.5, a play of your textbook. Okay, I hope you all have seen prior videos made by me for that, and this is final part. So what we have seen earlier, you all have watched and seen that one by one each and every one is blaming another one for the collapse of the wall, which was the reason of death of thief's friend. Okay, so at last we are seeing that potter, and after the potter, goldsmith was the person who was blamed by the moneylender's daughter for the collapse of the wall. So my dear friends, what happened then when goldsmith came there, and what he said to the king? Who was the king? He was King Chopet. So the goldsmith said in a cranky tone, "O noble king, I beg of you, how can you give me such a harsh sentence? I was merely following your orders to the letter. You commanded me to set aside all my work and get the queen's ornaments ready before Her Highness' birthday. So there has been a delay in making this lady's bridal ornaments. In the name of justice, Your Highness, pardon me. Spare my life. I was just following Your Highness's order." Then king said, "Not another word. Your excuse does not hold good." And then he said to the guards, "Take the goldsmith away to the gallows and hang him at once." Then goldsmith says, "Have mercy, O generous king. I fall at thy feet. Please forgive me just once this time. Let me leave, I have." King then loudly said, "None of this anymore. Take him away at once. Let him hang to death." Two guards dragged the wailing goldsmith away, courtiers and others whispered to one another out of shock. Soon the guards returned with the goldsmith and the hangman. What happened there? एक के बाद एक सभी लोग एक दूसरे पर आरोप लगा रहे थे, और finally at last we seen goldsmith blamed that he had not made moneylender's daughter's jewelry at time. That's why she was going towards him, and on the way the potter was making pots and potter का ध्यान भटका और the mistake held there. Then goldsmith came to the king and said, "Please, मेरी कोई गलती नहीं है इसमें. This is not my fault. I was following your highness's order because it was ordered to complete her ornaments for her birthday, और इस वजह से मनी लैंडर्स की जो बेटी थी उसके ऑर्नामेंट्स कंप्लीट करने में मुझे लेट हुआ." सो अब राजा चौपट यानी कि किंग का क्या कहना था? ही सेड, कोई एक्सक्यूज अब हम नहीं सुनेंगे, और ऑर्डर दी हैंगमैन टू hang the goldsmith till death. Finally, the courtiers were whispering with each other. एक दूसरे के साथ फुसफुसाहट करने लगे, आपस में चर्चा होने लगी. जितने भी दरबार में लोग बैठे थे सभी ये चर्चा करने लगे कि आखिर चल क्या रहा. और जो गार्ड्स थे वो गोल्डस्मिथ को लेकर वहां से चले गए. फिर क्या हुआ? What happened next? Let us see. Hangman, holding a noose in his hand, 1,000 apologized "O great king, but this noose does not fit the goldsmith neck. It is too loose." अब क्या हुआ? जो फंदा बनाया वो लूज हो गया और ये बात लेकर हैंगमैन जो है वो राजा के पास पहुंचा. He came in front of the king and told him that the noose is now loose. It is not fit for the goldsmith. Then king said, "Then try it around everyone's neck here," pointing to the subjects, "and see who it fits. Whosoever has a neck of the size of the noose must be hanged." This is very comic decision of king, my dear friends. राजा चौपट ने ये कहा कि उस फंदे को हर एक पे, जितने भी लोग दरबार में थे, हर एक पर आजमाया जाए. जिसके गले पर वो फिट होगा, he will be hanged till death. And hangman tries the noose on many of the subjects waiting for justice. They spurn and resist, but the hangman, with the help of the guards, overpowers them. Finally, the noose fits the disciple. So, what happened there? But obvious, if anyone is coming to you with a noose, you will resist and you will oppose for that. And then, the same happened there. The persons who were present over there, overpowered by the guards and the hangman, and the noose was checked whether it is fit for anyone. But it was finally of the size of the disciple. Who is a disciple? The disciple is that person who wanted to settle down at that country because of the ruling method of the king Chaupat. And then hangman said, "Ah, your highness, it fits at last." Then disciple, but what happened then? King said, "Ah, justice at last. Take him to the gallows without further delay." And then king ordered the hangman to keep the disciple and justice will be done there. Then king said, "Justice delayed is justice denied. Andheri Nagari prides itself on prompt action. Our action speak louder than words." Voices and shouts heard from outside all re-enter in a rush with another elderly man. What happened then? King said, "Finally, I made the justice," and he showed her his hyperbole there. And after some time, at this moment, the rush re-entered with a very old man with them. And king said, "What? Why have you all returned with this stranger alive? And who is this man?" Then first guard says, "I beg your pardon, your highness, but we are confused indeed. This old man rushed towards us as we were about to hang the young stranger and begged and pleaded that he should be hanged instead." So my dear friends, what happened? At the time the disciple was about to hang, and the same moment the old man entered and begged for his life. And then second guard says, "At first we thought the old man had lost his mental balance. What sane man would wish to suffer such a drastic death willingly?" First guard, "But this young man says he is a wise and learned sage from the forest yonder, and he himself was this man's disciple." So what happened there? If a person is saying that I should be hanged instead of that person, obviously they will think that the person has lost his mental balance. But that person was a sage and he was very intelligent and learned person. That's why they took him in front of the king, because what will be his instruction for them. So What happened there? Sage said, "O noble king, you are most generous. Be kind and allow me to be hanged in place of my disciple, I beg of you." Then king said, "What a strange appeal, and why does such a wise and holy man wish to obstruct the course of justice, may I ask?" The king said, बहुत आश्चर्यजनक बात है. It is very surprising that a wise, holy and sage want to be hanged instead of his disciple. Then what happened? Then sage said, showing reluctance to let out his secret, "Your Majesty, the truth is, no, I can't say it." Then king said, "I demand an explanation or I shall not have you hanged in place of your disciple." Sage wanted to told him all the things, but he hesitated and he stopped himself. But the king demanded for the explanation. Then Sage said, "You see, it has been predicted by the great prophets." "Oh, no, I should not say this." King annoyed, "Speak out at once or your disciple will be hanged." Sage tried to say, but hesitated again. Then king annoyed, and then Sage said what he said. The great prophets have foretold that the one who will be hanged on this day in this kingdom shall become the next king and conquer many more nations. I want to become the next great king, Your Majesty, and reign over a great country. I will go down in history as a famous royal monarch. The future generations will read about me and my greatness for millennium to come. I shall never earn that fame if I remain a recluse, a sage. So do grant me this favor, O king. Let me die at the gallows today. So it was his trick, my dear friends. Why? Because sage told that it was foretold that at the day if anyone will be hanged on the hanged there, he will become next king and conquer many more nations. So he said, because of that I want to be hanged and I will be next king, and so I request you to hang me till that instead of that disciple. If you will listen these kind of prediction, then what will your reaction? But obviously, if it is in your hand, then you will think that why anyone? I should be hanged till death, and I will be next ruler again. Same thing happened with the King Chopper, and he said, the next king, and this kingdom will expand, glory for millenniums to come. Why no one but I should be entitled to this privilege? Guards, take me to the gallows and hang me at once without any delay. Hurry up, don't waste time. What a wonderful fate in my next life. A king once again. Goodbye world, see you again. So my dear friends, what happened there? King ordered the guards to hang himself without any delay. And the play, the act ends here. It was the last scene. So what we have seen? हमने ये देखा कि राजा जिसे पूरी इंटेलिजेंस के साथ पूरे जांच पड़ताल पूरे ऑब्जर्वेशन के बाद डिसीजन लेना चाहिए, बिकॉज इट इज जस्टिस फॉर एनी कंप्लेनेंट, बट ही listened everyone's thought, everyone's excuse, and one by one he summoned many more pupils in front of him, and each and everyone was punished for hanged till death. But my dear friends, finally what happened? A sage, a clever person, tricked. He played a trick in front of the king, and he has saved the life of his disciple. So So my dear friends, it was a comic play, but we have learned a lot. हमने क्या सीखा? At first we have learned that a ruler must be intelligent and he should justice impartially, and with the role of sage we have learned that in any condition, if we have patience, we have ideas, we can face any condition in our life, any circumstance in our life, we can survive easily.